Hello, very good morning and welcome to Athavan newspaper highlights. Today is Saturday, 29th of October 2016. This is Edward with the highlights of today's English newspapers. As usual, we have three newspapers for the highlights: Daily Mirror, Daily News and Ceylon Today. Firstly, let's have a look on the Daily Mirror. The main headline says, Mahindran directly responsible for CB bond issue, says COP. Take legal action and punish responsible CB officials and others. Recover all monies lost to state and people through legal action. Monitor and review implementation of report recommendations. Formulate procedures to ensure the non-recurrence of such incidents. Parliament to directly oversee implementation of all measures and recommendations. The Parliamentary Committee on Public Enterprises, COP, in its final report on the investigation into the central bank bond controversy, held former central bank governor Arjun Mahendran directly responsible for the questionable transaction and called for legal action. PM suggests COP report be sent to AG. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said yesterday the COP report on the bond scam should be forwarded to the Attorney General for any action he deemed necessary. Joe request for COP debate granted. The joint opposition today called for a debate on the COP report presented to Parliament this morning. COP report was born amid such labour, JVP. The Janata Vimukti Peramuna said yesterday COP had to overcome numerous obstacles in investigating the bond scam, with the central bank refusing to provide certain documents to the Auditor General. Report tells who robbed public wealth. Handuneti. COP chairman and AVP MP Sunil Handuneti, in his note with regard to the report on the central bank bond scam, urged people, students and professionals to study it in depth to understand who plundered public wealth and who covered up for them. Mahendran in Singapore to attend a wedding, says PM. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe told Parliament yesterday that former central bank governor Arjun Mahendran had left for Singapore to attend a wedding. Secondly, let's move to Daily News. The main headline says, PM suggests action on COP report. Findings to be submitted to AG for advice. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe suggested in Parliament that action be taken on the Committee on Public Enterprises COP report on the instructions of the Attorney General, following the same being debated in Parliament. He made this observation yesterday responding to the speech made by JVP parliamentarian and COP chairman Sunil Handuneti after presenting the COP report. Premier Wickremesinghe said it was a success of the good governance government under the leadership of President Maithripala Sirisena being able to submit such a report in Parliament. Deepavali Festival at Temple Trees. The National Deepavali Festival was held at Temple Trees yesterday evening under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. Picture shows the President, the PM and the Tamil National Alliance and Opposition Leader R. Sampanthan receiving a traditional welcome. Resettlement and Hindu Religious Affairs Minister D.M. Swaminathan and State Minister Vijayakala Maheswaran were also present. Mattakuliya quadruple murder. 2 more suspects arrested. The Colombo Crime Division on Thursday night arrested 2 more suspects in connection with the quadruple murder in Mattakuliya. The incident occurred last Sunday at Sumitpura when a gang opened fire at end the group, killing 4 persons and injuring 3. The 2, aged 18 and residents of Mattakuliya, were arrested at around 10:15 p.m. at Mutwal. They were to be produced before the Colombo Chief Magistrate's Court yesterday. Over 18,400 kilograms of frozen mackerel seized. The Central Investigation Bureau of Sri Lanka Customs seized a consignment of 18,480 kilograms of frozen mackerel fish worth around 3 million rupees, unfit for human consumption, yesterday. This consignment arrived in Sri Lanka on October 14 in a ship named Mary from Singapore. The importer claimed that the stock of mackerel fish was of Norwegian origin. Ex-soldier arrested for alleged abuse of air hostess. An ex-soldier who broke into a room and allegedly sexually abusing an air hostess, was arrested by police on Thursday night in Velikada. The 34-year-old suspect, an army deserter who worked as a laborer at a construction site next to the woman's house, was to be produced in court yesterday. The incident occurred when the woman, an air hostess who lived alone in a rented house at Kalapaluava in Velikada, returned home after duty on Thursday night. Finally, let's move to Ceylon today. The main headline says, Report finds Mahendran responsible. COP urges legal action. Saying that former central bank governor Arjuna Mahendran is directly responsible for the questionable central bank treasury bond transactions, the Committee on Public Enterprises, in its report on the stunning scam, proposes stiff legal action against him and other relevant CB officials in this connection. 70 million rupees bulletproof jeep hidden in Bati. The FCID yesterday took into custody a bulletproof jeep valued over 70 million rupees, which had been kept under wraps in a garage in Batticaloa. FCID sources said they were currently looking into the likelihood that this vehicle had been provided by the Presidential Secretariat as part of the security arrangements for a former Eastern Province Chief Minister during the last regime. FCID sources said they will submit details of the vehicle when they file action in court shortly. EU Parliament delegation visits Sri Lanka. Focus on reconciliation, GSP+. A 4-member delegation from the European Parliament will arrive in Sri Lanka in a fact-finding mission from 31 October through to 3 November to discuss national reconciliation, restoration of the GSP+ export facility and greater women's empowerment, the EU office in Colombo said yesterday. With that, let's come to an end of today's paper highlights. We will come with more news tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to Athavan Newspaper Highlights.